Hi guys, again working from Shums Outlines College Algebra. The ISBNs are listed for you, and I'm back on page 18. Number 2.7E. I'm being asked to find the product, or in other words, multiply x squared minus 3x plus 9 times x plus 3. When we have a multiplication problem for expressions like this, I always like to put the smallest expression in the beginning because then it makes it easier for my next step. So I'm going to rewrite this as x plus 3 times x squared minus 3x plus 9. My next step would be to distribute x, oopsie, I'm going to distribute that x plus 3 over to all my smaller terms. So I'm going to go x plus 3 times x squared. Then I'm going to say x plus 3 times negative 3x. I care about the sign. The whole thing matters. X plus 3 times negative 3x. Lastly, I'll have x plus 3 times plus 9. I care about the sign. So in my first set here, the pink one, I have x times x squared. When we multiply letters, we keep the letter, and then we add our numbers up top. When your letter doesn't have a number, it always has an imaginary 1. So I'm going to add 1 plus 2, and that gives me 3. So I get x to the third for my first answer. I'm going to move these guys over so they're not in our way. And then I have 3. So I had x times x squared. Now I have 3 times x squared. The cool thing about doing numbers and letters is that when you multiply them together, you're just mashing them together. So I'm just going to have 3x squared. See, I just put it together, right? And I keep my sign. So plus 3x squared. Right? I had 3 times x squared, and then I'm just mashing them together. For my orange expressions, I have x times negative 3x. And when I don't have numbers, remember I add an imaginary 1. So here's my imaginary 1 and another imaginary 1. And I'm going to get x to the 1 times negative 3x to the 1. So what would I do here? I'm going to add, I'm going to keep my letters. So I know I'm going to keep my x. And then if I don't have a number to multiply my letter with, remember we're just going to mash them together. So I'm just going to put this negative 3 in it. Negative 3. And then lastly, I'm going to add 1 plus 1, which gives me 2. So here my answer is minus 3x squared. Then I'm going to distribute my 3 to my negative 3x to the 1. So that is 3 times negative 3x to the 1. So I know I keep my letter. There's nothing else going on with the letter. And then what is 3 times negative 3? Remember our sign rules? If they're the same, I get a positive. If they are different, I get a negative. So this here, if you don't have a sign, it's an imaginary positive. We always assume positive. So plus and minus are different. So my answer is going to be negative. And 3 times 3 gives me 9. So I get minus 9x to the 1. Lastly, I have x plus 3. Let's move all these over. I have x plus 3 times 9. So I'm going to do x times positive 9. X times positive 9. I'm just going to mash it together, right? So this gives me plus 9x. And then I have 3 times 9. And you see how they're both positive? If my signs are the same, I get positive. So I'll have plus 3 times 9 is 27. So my answer is x cubed plus 3x squared minus 3x squared minus 9x plus 9x plus 27 for now. We can simplify this. Now remember, this little one, we don't really need it. It's imaginary. So I'm going to delete it. Okay. Now what can we put together? I have minus 9x plus 9x. That's like saying minus or plus 5 minus 5 gives me 0, right? 5 minus 5 is 0. So this is the same thing, plus 9x. minus 9x gives me 0. So I get 0 here. And then I get plus 3x squared minus 3x squared plus 3x squared minus 3x squared, 0. And then all I have left over is x to the third plus 27. And that right there is my answer for this problem. As always, thank you for watching me. Please send me over any problems you might want me to work out for you that maybe you're not getting at school or college. I'd be more than glad to make you a video with your problem showing you how to figure it out. You have a great day.